Hello everyone, myself Professor Hardik Prajapati. I warmly welcome to you from Sri Susha College of Commerce, Management and Computer Education. That is managed by Jain Citizens Education Society. In this video, we are talk about the principle of macroeconomics 2 in BCom SEM-4 department. So let us start today's lecture. Hello everyone. Now in this video we will talk about our chapter number 5, that name is foreign exchange rate. We know that we already know that about this title is that the foreign exchange rate in our TV and in our newspaper. What is the foreign exchange rate? We know that when the dollar will be increasing, the rupee will be decreasing and rupee will be increasing. That type of words we will listen already. Now, in this the chapter, we will all the parameter of the foreign exchange rate will be studied in this video. So let us talk and let us start with the what is foreign exchange rate. First of all, we know that the meaning of foreign exchange rate. First is that the foreign exchange rates means the rate of exchange between the currency of two countries. Means two countries have a different currency, means like India has a in rupee and the America has a dollar. Like other country Europe is a conducted due to sorry currency is that the pound. As an example, the dollar of the US and priced at a 45 rupees. The foreign exchange rate is 45 US dollar. Means that 1 rupee has a conducted to $45, or sorry, $1 is equal to 45 rupees. Hence, the price of a dollar is expressed in Indian rupees and Indian rupees price is expressed in a dollar. Means the balance of this dollar and rupee is called the foreign exchange rate. Thus, it can be it can be said that the rate of which foreign currency is exchanged with the local currency is called the foreign exchange rate. Means the any over the world country currency will exchanged with the native country, then it's called the foreign exchange rate. Thus, foreign exchange rate is a value expressed in a foreign currency. From this point of view, the foreign exchange rate is indicates the external value of a native currency. Means that the external value means that overall country has a value is due to the native currency. It's called the foreign exchange rate. Now the second determination is that how foreign exchange rates is the determined can be explained with the help of three methods. Theory under the gold standards, how foreign exchange rates is determined the explained through the mint parity theory, and under the paper standard. The rate of exchange determined can be explained with the purchasing power parity theory. Means that what is the purchasing power parity theory? In the last semester, semester number 3, in the principle of a macroeconomics, you know that the purchasing power parity of a public means that if any money of a any public, then it's purchasing for any goods and commodities, it's called the purchasing power parity of a country or purchasing power parity of a any people. This theory explains the how in the long run the local currency is valued in a foreign currency, but it find out what will be exchange rate at a certain time can be explained with the demand and supply theory. Let us study this theory. Now let us talk about this theory. First is that mint parity theory. Under gold standard, how exchange rate is determined can be explained with the mint parity theory. There is the title name is that mint parity theory based on the gold standard. First of all, let us study what gold standard concept is. Gold standard is a mind of monetary standard. Its characteristics are as follow. Gold can be exported and imported freely. Okay, we know that gold can be imported, exported freely. So the Middle East country like Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Turkmenistan, and so on. Country has so many resources of gold. There are no restriction on import and export of gold. So that is the important material of any country. Then no rates or no interest are available in the imports and export of gold. The currency coins can be of gold or silver. We know that the gold is a very important, and we make jewelry from the gold and silver. There can be paper currency also. But here it is important to note that the value of a currency money units is connected with the certain weight of golds. The overall currency of a money is certain based on the rate of golds or weight of golds. Third, third standard or characteristic is that the gold can be obtaining from the government in exchange of a currency. Money in a currency coins can be obtained in exchange of gold. Means the exchange of a gold is based on the overall income. Here we take one example. We last video lecture we will study about the IMF, International Monetary Fund. The International Monetary Fund is gets the funding to the Indian government, and Indian government, if not put the proper interest, then its storage will be gold storage will be conducted, and then the gold will be funding in the IMF. The overall interest will be demonstrated. Then, as stated the above, under the gold standard, the value of a currency units is the automatically determined between the currencies of the two countries. Now let us talk about the purchasing power parity theory. First of all, we know that the purchasing power parity of a people. If any people like a person have a purchasing power, means purchasing commodities and price is in his pocket, then it's called the purchasing power parity of the people. When the currency of a two trending countries is a paper money, then this theory is called the purchasing power parity. Means that like America and India, the export and import are due to this the paper money. It's called the purchasing power parity theory. Gottsov-Castle says exchange rates is expressed through the purchasing power parity of a two currencies. It equalization the purchasing power of a currency of one country with the currency of other. It's called the Gottsov-Castle. Next is the GV Harbler notes that the relative value of a different currency is in a proportion to the real purchasing power of each currency in its country, then called the purchasing power parity. And third economist A.C. Thompson says, in the services with the countries, all these definitions presents the purchasing power parity with significance that when there is a long run and the relative value of the any standard of currency in any countries. Now the purchasing power of the power currency is purchasing commodities, then the currency of both countries determined by the purchasing power parity theory commodities both. Now let us talk about the characteristic of balance of payment. First is that the absolute version. Absolute version of the purchasing parity explains the process of determining exchange rate between two currency based on their domestic and international purchasing power, like a native country and the foreign country. That does not consider the change in the purchasing power of this currency. If the certain machine in India price have a 30,500, and if the same machine is priced in US is the $300. So the $300 is equal to 30,000, 13,500 machine price is based on the dollar. This means is the dollar, $1 is equal to 45 rupees. That can be absolute version. Next, the absolute purchasing power parity explain limitation. There is the unrealistic assumption in this theory that price level of commodities in both currency becomes the equal in a trade. That is the internal purchasing power of currency becomes the equal. Next is that the moreover if the both countries is qualities and types of goods would be different, it takes the granted these things of the countries equal. Now let us talk about the relative version. Relative version is based on the new exchange rate is equal to exchange rate of the base year into multiply international price divided by foreign price index. Means that this is the very important equation for the relative version. If the any internal price index and the foreign price index and ratio and it's multiplied with the exchange rate of base year, it's called the relative version. And last is the demand and supply theory. It is the very important theory in this long run. How exchange rate is determined can be explained with the help of the purchasing power parity theory, but it cannot be explained in the context of the short period. The demand and supply theory removes the short meaning. To understand how the exchange rate is determined at a certain times in the short period can be explained with the help of the law of demand and supply. If the demand will be increasing, the supply will be increased. So the overall function are conducted due to the law and function theory. Therefore this theory is called the balance of payment theory. This theory explains that at any times of the value of a currency of the country can be determined in relations to the currency of the another country of the basis of their demand and supply. Thus, if all the context of deficit of balance of payment, the value of a native currency is less, then the value of the foreign currency is more, while the context of the surplus in the balance of payment, the values of a native currency is high, then the value of foreign currency is less. Then the overall parameters are conducted due to this rupee and dollar are conducted due to the these types of. Now here we completed our syllabus, and if the any more question or more query you have, then you will ask me in any time. So the overall syllabus will be completed from my side, and if you have any query in related to my subject, and you will ask me anytime. Now here we completed our syllabus. So thank you very much for joining my video channel.